Trump's strategy and approach to a tariff framework, 10% on $3.1 trillion of imports, 60% on tariff on China imports. I mean, that's catastrophic from an inflationary perspective, mass deportations, all those issues, comparing to a strategy that's well established by the Biden administration. I hope to hear a lot about that tonight.
Let me ask you about this gap between the economic data and how people are feeling about the economy. How does he make inroads doing that? How does President Biden do that?
It's just an extraordinary thing. I mean, the 15.6 million jobs have been created just in 3.5 years by the Biden administration. It's more than 8 times more than the last 3 Republican administrations combined.
We did have a pandemic.
Yeah, well, we did have a pandemic, but we also had a pandemic that you compare and contrast the years prior, even with the Trump years. Black unemployment now lower than it's ever been, Hispanic unemployment lower than it's ever been, women unemployment lower than it's ever been, and that same pandemic led to inflationary pressures that are perhaps the answer to your question as to why that disconnect between performance and perception and why people feel different than the data as it relates to the cumulative impacts of inflation.
This is a president who talks a lot about the fate of democracy, the future of democracy. Do you think that that's resonating with your constituents in California, people across this country?
It should. I mean, he hasn't been shy about his intention. Nor has he been shy about associating himself with blueprints like that Project 2025 plan. I mean, that should scare the daylights out of anyone. I mean, that's about rights regression. That's about rolling back all the progress the last half century. It's about American reverse, a pre-1960s world. Women's rights, LGBTQ rights, obviously issues related to voting rights, civil rights. So, no, I think the issue of democracy, autocracy, the sort of dictatorial rhetoric, the authoritarian rhetoric that Trump is advancing, the fact that he's even joking about another term, suspending the Constitution, even out of context, I get that, but even talking about dictatorship, that should be very seriously considered by folks out there that care about their kids and grandkids and the fate and future of this country.
This is a debate about, hopefully, substance. There'll be style as well, people looking to see how these two individuals look, interact with one another, with the moderator as well. I talked to a lot of people who may support the president but aren't excited about supporting the president. Yeah. How does he combat that? How do you, as a surrogate for him, work to improve that?
Ideas should matter more. I mean, the fact he delivered on the CHIPS and Science Act, and we're bringing back manufacturing in the United States of America, addressing supply chain concerns, the infrastructure work that's happening all across the United States, not just in blue states, red and rural parts of the United States, the fact that we have an industrial policy, the fact that we're seeing the investments, historic investments in clean energy, and we're seeing historic investments in domestic energy production, now more energy independent than any time in our lifetime. All of that should excite people. A vision for the future around low carbon green growth, a vision for the future as it relates to protecting the middle class and advancing the cause of freedom and liberty around the globe. Alliance, I mean, across all of those spectrums, to me at least, that's enlivening and exciting. I think we attach too much to performance, style. I'm into the substance.